Hi, I'm Clark Easterling of Windy Hill Foundry. Today I'm going to be working on a pattern that Emma Ritson from India sent me. She has the channel Emma's Spareroom Machine Shop. The patterns are for a 400 Stuart engine. I went ahead and cast one up just to see what I was going to run into. I knew there would be a few little tweaks I want to make and then do it again. So this is the first attempt and it looks decent. Looks pretty good. The core work turned out really good. And we had 3 issues. One is this sand crumbled when I was placing the core in place. It wanted to roll and it knocked the ledge of sand off, which fell down in the mold and created these little divots. The other issue was right here. The core protruded and actually met in with the actual pattern in the sand. So I'm going to file the next core down just a little bit in that one spot just to make sure we don't have that problem again. The other issue that I was concerned with was in the water jacket core. If you can see right here, that sharp edge could be a problem. I want to take and sand a bigger fillet or a larger radius in the neck of the next core before we run that. So anyway, I've got one to learn from my first mistakes on here, so we're going to get on it. So we're going to go 4 to 6% on sodium silicate and we'll gas it. These are some of the previous cores that broke on me, but that's what they'll look like. Now, once they're made, they're going to go into my kiln, be in the kiln for about an hour at 500 degrees just to help drive any extra moisture out of it. But this is the water jacket core. This plug will come out after it's rammed up. This pin will pull out. This is the piston core. And to give you an idea, I actually have a piston core made up right here. That's what the core would look like after it's made in this box. This is the core that I'm going to have to do a little sanding on right there and knock that corner down some to make sure it doesn't break out in the casting like it did right here. It's hard to see there, I know, but this area right there forms that. Neat little core box here is the main center bore. That's 1,669 grams. Round it off to 2,000. 98. 2,000. So we need to add 80 grams of sodium silicate. And that'll give me 4%. It's going to be 2,080 grams. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Catch that drop. That stuff don't taste bad. It'd be good on biscuits. Try to get all the air out of it. You know it's ready when your bag starts busting. I try to keep all the air out of this as I can. I have a little trouble pulling this apart. I'm going to go ahead and add a little graphite. I'm I'm not gonna put much, just enough to slick it up. There's an area where it's got to be really tight up under there. It sticks out like a toe on a boot. I'll go ahead and get that pushed in there. That's not near enough. I took and cut a little curve from the bottom of a piece of wood, and I got my line right there. Make sure no openings are in that bag. There's 2 holes here in the bottom for that area right here that's so tight. I'm going to gas it too. They say don't over gas it, but you know, it hasn't been an issue for me. Just have to hold your mouth right and be gentle with it. That's good. Okay. Goes in like that. Let's go in like that. I'm going to just shove it down on one side until I see it shoving it up on the other side. Alright, I'm going to pull this out first. Alright, so that looks good. When I was telling you about that edge break on the casting, the fillet, this is where I got to sand that radius right there on both sides. I'm going to start off by ramming about this much sand in the bottom of it. Once I do that, I'll insert the rod, eyeballing it, and get it right in the middle. And then I'll balance it up here as I ram up. All right, because this is wider than that kerf, I'm going to stick my hose in on this side. Please clean flashing off cores before pouring. She don't trust me, does she? All right. One, two. That looks good. I'm just using an old half-round file. We have to do a little work on this section right here, because I don't want it breaking through that casing. I got a crack right there. I got a crack in this. I'm going to have to remake this. Hopefully we got enough. That weighs 565 grams. That weighs... crap. I gotta mix up some more. Okay, like I said, this core total weighs 565 grams. The remainder of core sand that I've got weighs 298. That's 500 grams. 4% is going to be 20. So we got to go to 520. 519. 520. Well, 9 times out of 10, whoever comes up this road, especially who knows darn well I'm always out here in this shop. I'm never at the house. I always insist to go to the house first. Drives right by me while I'm in here working. Instead of stopping and waiting 2 minutes for me to get through with this or that, walk to the door and speak to them. I don't know. I don't understand it. I know the traffic's been heavy on this hill today. All right, where was I? Okay. No matter how hard I try to wrap this, it always grabs right here. And I put some graphite in it earlier, hoping that'd solve that, but it didn't. I don't know if you can see all that, but I got good crisp detail. That's what I'm shooting for. This area right here is super deep, and I'm gonna have to set this on top of another block of sand in order to keep that from chilling down there on the end. See, on this one it came out clean. Since I'm going to do it like that, okay. I think that got it. One side of that pattern sticks up this tall, Give you an idea how close that tip is to breaking out of the sand. So I got to make a bed for that mold to set on. This will be the easy part. Perfect. Jake, you better get out of that.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Well, I think we got a great casting. I'll know tomorrow. We're going to let it set in the sand overnight, slowly cool down, and I'll break them tomorrow. And I'll follow up from there. Well, it's been about 20 hours ago. Everything's cooled off. Good gray iron. While we're waiting on the water to boil, we'll go ahead and get this other mold broke. Perfect. This is that piece. This is the piston that had that piston core in it. That will have to be cut off of here and thrown in there with the rest of that. But yeah, for the most part, all this looks good, so I'm happy. Okay. I'll clean the piston head up and this, and I'll show you what the finish looks like. See how that water is boiling out the core on the inside? I'll be able to take a screwdriver now and scrape all that out with no problem. We need some crawfish now. Got a few little imperfections here. I had some washout on the corner. This again, can't figure out how to prevent that. But overall, it's a good looking casting. Core has the radius on it, so I don't have to worry about hot tear. And the center core turned out really good. So, Anyway, I called Emma, sent her pictures. She's okay with this, so I'm going to go ahead and get it in the kiln along with the other parts. I'm sending her 2 cranks. This is from the first attempt. The valve plate. I guess the spark plug goes here. And this is, one of these is your intake and one's the exhaust valves. And this is the piston, and all this is going to be machined. I know it doesn't look like a piston, but it does on the inside. If you can see the detail in there, that's the only reason. That's the only reason we had to put a core in it, is to be able to cast those bosses. And then your rod will connect in there. It is 11:30. All right. Program yes. Run yes. Go back to program. This will go all the way up to 1375. Alright, I'm fixing to go to bed. Well, this is out of the kiln about an hour ago. I took a wire brush and cleaned that old red oxide off that develops from the stress relief process. But anyway, these are ready to go. I will be packing them shortly and getting them to the post office tomorrow. I'm anxious to see Emma machine this and can't wait to see it running. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll have another video out not too far away.